So at this time, I would ask that the clerk please open court.
The Supreme Court of Guam is now in session. Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito presiding.
Good morning, councils. I want to welcome you to our virtual courtroom, and I want to thank you for your attendance and your participation. At this time, I will ask the clerk to please call the first case.
CVA 19-024, In Re High Life Tours LLC, Petitioner Appellee versus Government of Guam, Department of Parks and Recreation, William N. Regis, in his official capacity as Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation. Respondents, appellees. Ocean Jet, Inc., applicant for intervention and real party in interest appellant, and Guam Ocean Park Corporation, joined applicant for intervention and real party in interest. Appearing for the plaintiff is attorney Joshua D. Walsh. Appearing for the respondent appellees is attorney James L. Canto II. Appearing for the real party in interest is attorney Gary W. F. Gumatautau. Appearing for the real party in interest Ocean Park Corporation is attorney Michael D. Flynn. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman, and Justice Pro Tem John A. Manglotnya.
I note that attorney Gary Gumatautau is not with us. Am I correct?
I'm online, Your Honor.
He joined.
Okay.
He joined,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Gary, for joining us. So the status of the case is the briefing is complete. There is a pending request to take judicial notice that was filed in June 29th of 2020. The panel has decided to address that request in the court's opinion. You've heard the panel is constituted. We have a Justice Pro Tem in this case, John A. Manglotnya. So I would address the attorneys listed in this case. Is there any objection to the panel that is proposed in this case?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Joshua Walsh on behalf of the Appellee High Life Tours. We have no objection to the panel, no objection to the case proceeding. Thank you, Justice.
And I would ask each counsel to please indicate for the record if you have no objection or if you do have an objection.
This is Jordan.
Go ahead.
All right.
This is Jordan Pauloon. I'm appearing for James Canto. The government has no objection to the panel or the date.
Frank?
Ocean Jet Ski has no objection at all.
All right. I think that Michael.
Guam Ocean Park has no objection, Your Honors.
All right, and the case, thank you, counsel. The case is scheduled to be argued on Monday, April 5th at 10 a.m. And for all our cases in April, we are going to continue to do it in the Zoom virtual courtroom. Any objection by counsels to the oral argument date and time?
Your Honor, on behalf of the plaintiff appellee, no objection to the date and time. Thank you.
None for the government.
None from Ocean Jet Ski, Your Honor.
No objection from Guam Ocean Park, Your Honors.
All right, counsels, that completes our discussion in reference to this case. And so at this time, I will ask the clerk to call the next case.
CBA 19-013, David Wathod, Kanashiro K. Albert, Rensper Alpet, Iacinda R. Alpet, Sino Annis, Florenzio H. Atten, Thank You Eram, Rosenta Ephraim, Smither D. Ezra, Silner G. Fred, Margaret L. Fanaway, Martina Fine Joseph, individually and as the special administrator of the estate of Rainus Rangi, deceased. Paul Cargon, Martina Remau, Daria Kausam, John Lingmau, Marcella D. Martin, Son Tang H. Martin, Tinel Mori, Lynn Otwi, aka Lynn Atui, Takashi C. Utan, Martin Raymond, Innocenta Raymond, Alex H. Rubin, Felicia B. Rubin, Hiropan Sherip, Tomanina Takoshi, Jennifer D. Topsiao, Jerry L. Topsiao, Davina Vi, Stanley Yanfag, and Rosemary Yanfag, plaintiffs' appellants versus Seafred Limited defendant appellee. Appearing for the plaintiff appellee is attorney Wason W.S. Wong. Appearing for the defendant appellant is attorney Curtis C. Vandeveld. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Robert J. Torres, and Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
Your Honors, I believe the caption is incorrect. I believe it is the multiple party plaintiffs who are the appellants and Seifert that is the appellee.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is
That is correct. It's Wason Wong for the plaintiff's appellants and Curtis Vanderbilt for the defendant Seifert appellee.
okay. All right. So thank you, Attorney Vanderbilt. The briefing in this matter is complete and there are no pending motions. I will start with you, Attorney Wong, on behalf of the plaintiff's appellants. You've heard the panel as constituted. Is there any objection to the panel?
Good morning again, Justices. I have no objection to the panel.
Attorney Vanderbilt?
I have no objection to the panel. I just would make a disclosure that both the Associate Justice Torres and I are involved in the Guam Football Association. And I just want to put that out there in the event that that might alter Attorney Wong's position, but I have no objection to the panel at all.
Yeah, I'm not a officer, director, member of the Guam Football Association currently. And I think Mr. Vanderbilt may be the attorney for the association, but I've had some interaction with them, but I don't think there's a basis for a need for a disclosure or disqualification for me.
All right. And if Mr. Wong, if for whatever reason you feel that there is some concern there under the rules, I think we have also indicated a certain cutoff time in which any party may file an objection to the panel in writing. But
I have no,
go ahead.
Your Honor, I have no concern and I waive any objection to Justice Torres sitting on the panel.
All right, thank you, Attorney Wong. So the date and time for oral arguments in this case is for Tuesday, April 6th at 10 a.m. Counsel, starting with you, Mr. Wong, is there any objection to the date and time scheduled for oral arguments?
Chief Justice, before that, is this a possible date that if Mr. Cunliffe could switch with counsel? So if counsel's available on the 8th and Mr. Cunliffe's case could be in this date on the 6th, that might be the easiest swap.
Your Honors, I have no objection to either the 6th or the 8th, whichever best facilitates the Supreme Court of Guam's schedule is acceptable to me.
Attorney Wong?
Your Honor, this is Randy Cunliffe. I don't mean to interject, but Christine Tenorio contacted us yesterday because she had a conflict on the 7th with Mr. Timblin. And I believe that we've worked it out that we could switch between Christine Tenorio and Mr. Timblin's case. And Marianne Wolashuk, I believe, agrees that we can switch our dates.
So that's
All right.
perfect then. So we'll go with the switch on the 7th.
All right, that's how we'll proceed, Attorney Cunliffe, and we'll get down to your case. And so, Attorney Wong, for the record, I think you've said already you had no objection to this date, and also Attorney Vanderbilt. So The oral arguments will proceed as scheduled on Tuesday, April 6th at 10 a.m. in this case. Thank you, counsels. So will the
Thank you.
clerk, will the clerk please call the next case?
CBA 20-008, Joaquin v. Leon Guerrero, individually and as a taxpayer, plaintiff appellant versus Government of Guam, Guam Department of Administration, and Edward Byrne in his capacity as its director, defendants appellee. Attorney Braddock J. Huseman and Attorney Deborah E. Fisher appear on behalf of the plaintiff appellant. Attorney Jordan Palhoun appears for the defendants appellees. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Justice Robert J. Torres, and Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
Councils, the briefing in this matter is complete. There are no pending motions. Starting with you, Attorney Huseman, is there any objection to the panel as constituted?
No objection, Your Honor.
Assistant Attorney General Palhoun?
The government has no objection.
And the date and time for oral arguments in this case is scheduled for Wednesday, April 7th at 10 a.m. Councils, Attorney Huseman, is there any objection to the date and time to argue this case?
No objection, Your Honor.
And Assistant Attorney General Palhoun?
That's fine with us as well.
All right, look forward to hearing arguments on the date and time indicated. And so with that, will the clerk please call the next case?
CRA 20-003, People of Guam, Plaintiff Appellee versus Jason Francisco Song, Defendant Appellant. Appearing for the defendant appellant is Attorney Terry E. Timblin. Appearing for the plaintiff appellee is Attorney Christine Santos Tenorio. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Robert J. Torres, and Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
So the briefing in this matter has passed the due date. We note that Attorney Timblin, you did not file a reply brief. There are no pending motions. Starting with you, Attorney Timblin, is there any objection to the panel as constituted?
Your Honor, no objection to the panel.
And Assistant Attorney General Christine Tenorio?
No objection to the panel, Your Honor.
And as indicated by Attorney Cunliffe, you've both agreed to move your oral argument date to Thursday, April 8th at 10 a.m. Attorney Timblin, is that date agreeable to you?
Yes, Your Honor. We went through all this in an email exchange yesterday, and April 8th at 10 is fine with me.
All right. Yeah, when we get through this, the clerk will then send out a revised notice noting the change dates and times. And so with you, Assistant Attorney General Tenorio, for the record, do you agree to the date and time for oral arguments?
For the record, I agree to the date of the time that we have swapped with Mr. Cunliffe and Ms. Polishuk on April 8th.
Thank you, counsels, for your assistance and cooperation in accommodating Attorney Cunliffe's request. So with that, will the clerk please call the next case?
CBA 20-013, Levin Titano Camacho, Attorney General of Guam, Plaintiff Appellee versus Daphne M. Shimizu, Director, Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation. Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Governor of Guam. Daryl R. Stiles, doing business as D&D Games, and Does 110, Defendants Appellee, and Guam Music Inc., Defendant Appellant. Appearing for the defendant appellant, Guam Music Inc., is Attorney Randall F. Randall Cunliffe. Appearing for the plaintiff appellee is Attorney General of Guam, Assistant Attorney General Marianne Waldashek.
Thank you. Council, the briefing in this matter is complete. There are no pending motions. And starting with you, Attorney Cunliffe, is there any objection? I think you've indicated yet none, but just for the record, any objection to the panel as constituted?
Thank you, Your Honors. No, we have no objections of the panel as constituted.
And Assistant Attorney General Wallace-Chuck?
The same here, Your Honor. No objections to the panel.
And as indicated earlier, you've worked out a change in the oral arguments date and time, and we will now hear this case on Wednesday, April 7th. Is that at 2 p.m.?
That is my understanding, Your Honor.
All right, so.
Yes,
Mine
it's
as
at
well,
2
Your Honor.
p.m. 2 p.m.
All right, it's at 2 p.m. Okay. Again, just for the record, we've had your statements, and for the record, I will indicate that Attorney Cunliffe, you've worked it out, and so there's no objection to the date and time, the revised date and time, and the same with you, Assistant Attorney General Marian Wallace-Chuck.
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, will the clerk please call the next case?
Your Honor, this is Curtis Vanderbilt. I represent D&D Games, Daryl Stiles. I received notice of the hearing, so I just want to be sure that I'm excused because I'm not involved in the briefing on this issue and I have no intention of arguing orally.
All right. Yes, that's indicated in our internal information, and thank you for confirming that, Attorney Vanderbilt.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Your Honors, I would join Mr. Vandervelde in the same position.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Berman.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Will the clerk
Your
please
Honor.
call? Yes, I'm sorry. Who is?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but in keeping with my fellow councils, the same can be said for Governor Leon Guerrero and Director Shulmazu.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Diaz. Will the clerk please call the next case?
CRA 20-009, People of Guam, Plaintiff Appellee versus Eric Juan Palacios Kitagua, Defendant Appellant. Appearing for the Defendant Appellant is Attorney Heather M. Zona. Appearing for the Plaintiff Appellee is Attorney Jeremiah Luther. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Robert J. Torres, and Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
Councils, the briefing in this matter is complete. There are no pending motion. Starting with you, Attorney Zona, is there any objection to the panel as constituted?
No objection, Your Honor.
And Assistant Attorney General Luther?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, and the oral argument in this case is scheduled for Friday, April 9th at 10 a.m. And I just want to note that per the court's order of February 3rd, 2021, the people are limited to 15 minutes in their argument. And so Attorney Zona is the date and time agreeable to you?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Attorney Luther, are the date and time agreeable to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel. So this case will be heard as scheduled. And I want to thank all the counsels for their presence. This is one benefit of our virtual courtroom. You didn't have to drive to the courthouse and make your personal appearance. So there is a benefit to our virtual courtroom. Thank you, counsels, for your presence this morning. And that concludes the list of cases that we will hear in the week of April. And we look forward to oral arguments. And with that, the court is adjourned.